All right, I'm all about being super prompt and super on time. You are on time here. I see the 284 people out of our 900. You are on time today. So give yourselves a round of applause for being on time for today's blessing that is coming. That is right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us for our SYEP Summer Youth Employment Virtual Town Hall. You all represent young people who we have seen show commitment to their growth. You're part of this program, so you're committed to your financial growth. You're committed to your growth in career. You're committed to your personal development. And we are here to impart and add to that development, add to that growth. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming into the room today. This is a mandatory part of your weekly schedule. This is a mandatory part of your summer pay. So thank you for being here and being on time. It shows and it matters. For those who don't know, my name is Nicole Fields. I'm a consultant here with the Newark Youth One Stop in the city of Newark. You all have met me at the orientation. I was the lady who did your trivia, who is here to kind of help you get through this program, help to build our staff, build our team, bring in experts. And today, for our virtual town hall, which, by the way, town halls are our way to get our experts, employers, universities, VIPs. We're even going to have a few kind of special guests and VIPs, maybe even some celebrity VIPs come to these town halls. This is our chance to really impart upon you and really double down on what you are learning in your Learn and Earn classes. Today's session is going to be led by DJ, the Money Coach. Let me share a little bit of information about DJ. Dale Darensburg Jr., a Chicago native and graduate of Columbia College, is a professional speaker, certified estate advisor, and chartered senior financial planner. In 1997, he founded Darensburg International, a professional sponsor of the Learning Institute for Financial Education. His team of instructors specializes in financial education, wealth accumulation, asset production, and small business planning for middle-class America. Darensburg International teaches 4 comprehensive financial education seminars in layman terms, meaning for the everyday person. At an 8th grade level. His classes are fast-paced, fun, interactive with audience participation, and he teaches 100 real-life fundamentals for family finances and provides complimentary written plans for each of his valued members. Anyone over the age of 13 and up can attend, and it's fun for the whole family. So Dale is also the author of the ABCs of Wealth, a common sense of strategy for achieving the American dream. We are super, super excited and really lucky to have DJ, the Money Coach, Dale Darensburg, and we're also joined by Nick Westbrook on his team as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Nick and Dale. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us, Nicole. So before I turn it over to DJ so he can jump right into his topics, I'll briefly tell who I am, and then I'll have DJ give a brief backstory about himself. So I'm Nick Westbrooks. I'm a teacher at Eastside High School here in Newark. Hey, Michael. Michael's one of my former students. Prior to teaching at Eastside, I was a teacher at Newark Prep Charter School for 3 years. I met DJ about a year ago. I started working with him as one of his clients. And a few months ago, I started working with him. He hired me to help him run one of his businesses. So now I'm official part of the team. So DJ has helped me a lot in terms of saving money, paying off my debt at a faster pace, boosting my credit score, and giving me lessons on how to increase my wealth. DJ's been an entrepreneur for the past 20-something years, and over these past 20-something years, he's started 4 businesses, from the ground level, from scratch, and he's built them up to into multi-million-dollar businesses. For his current business, he's a financial educator. So he meets with families, individuals, and companies, and he teaches them about how to manage their money and how to build wealth. He also owns real estate property and stocks. Like Nicole's mentioned, he's written a few books, and he's traveled all around the country teaching people how to manage their money and to become financially free. He's a committed and devoted husband and father. He has 4 children. So that's about all that I'll share about DJ. I'll let DJ tell his backstory and give some information about who he is and some of the obstacles that he faced to show you that all the success that he's experienced so far, it wasn't handed to him. So take it over, DJ, tell your backstory, and we'll get into these topics.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, again, first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for showing up on time. I want to thank Nicole. I want to thank Cody for putting this event together in this town hall series. I want to thank Nick for being the moderator for me, because without the team, this could not have happened. So, first I want to let you know that success is a team sport, first and foremost. So for those who don't know me, and thank you for all those reading of my bio, at the end of the day, I'm a lot like a lot of you out there. So I came out of a single family environment. I had the pleasure and I also had the dissatisfaction of growing up on both sides of the tracks. So at one point in time, my mom was married to my dad. We lived in a Cosby style, environment, had a nice house, had cars, vacations. And then all of a sudden, my mom got divorced when I was 7.5, 8 years of age. It was just me and my sister. So we went from living in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, middle-class America, to living in a 1-bedroom apartment, rat-infested, roach-infested, going to public school. So don't think that I am this polished person that you can't become. That is a misinformation, mismanagement, all BS, okay? So I'm gonna tell you and keep it 100 with you guys. So with that said, from going through that stage of my life, I had to battle, through poverty, through bias, through prejudice, had to battle inside my own community, people who didn't think I was not down and black enough for them or, part of the agenda. So with that said, let me tell you where I came to learn about money and learn about leadership, learn about entrepreneurism, okay? So when I came out of college, I had over $40,000 worth of consumable debt, not including my college debt. So if you added that together, I probably had like $70,000 worth of debt. I also had a 525 credit score, okay? And I also was turned down for a mortgage, and I also was turned down for a small business. But you know what I didn't do? Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, administrators, I didn't play the victim game, okay? So I'm gonna keep this 100 with you. I don't believe in victims. I believe in being victorious through obstacles that are actually opportunities in disguise. I read one book. It was called The Road to Wealth. So since this is a requirement for you to get paid, I think you should take out your pen and paper and you should take copious notes, not because I am all be all, but because my 20 years of experience is going to help provide you the template and the blueprint for financial success. How many people right now that are in this youth group that I never had the benefit of being a part of when I was your age would like to be financially independent, have a 6-figure income, and one day own their own business? If you are that person, put a 1 in the chat box right now to let me know where the winners are. Let me see the ones, Nick, and tell me how many ones we got. Then
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I apologize, but guess what? Guys and girls, administrators, you know what winners do? We keep moving forward. So technology doesn't stop us. Again, as I was saying, there's no excuses. There's no victimhood. This is all about victorious, okay? So I don't know where I broke off, but I'll start again about the consumable debt, and I'll start again about how I worked my way out of consumable debt in 2002, where I was able to eradicate all of that. And I use these 2 dirty little words. I want everybody to write this down: accountability and discipline. Accountability and discipline. Upon using accountability and discipline and having an indirect mentor by reading one chapter in the book called Road to Wealth, I was able to eradicate $70,000 worth of debt. So in 2002,
Everything that had my name on it, I owned. In 2008, I became a 6-figure passive income earner and a 7-figure net worth. How many people in this youth group right now would like to have that in the next 3 years in their life? Put a 1 in the chat box if you can relate to that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So again, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. So the first thing I'm gonna talk to you about is leadership, okay? Because in leadership, you have to have the ability to adapt to environment and play the hand that's dealt you. And if you're able to do that, you can actually get to the road of success with the template and the blueprint based on people who you are following. So I want to tell you, if you don't get anything out of this town hall today, that the 5 people that you hang around the most are going to determine your income, your net worth, and your stability in life. And what do I mean by that? I don't take advice from people who are broke mentally, spiritually, or financially. I'm going to say that again. I do not take advice from people spiritually, mentally, and financially. So when my mom was divorced, and my mother was divorced 3 times before she married the right man that she's been married to for 32 years, I never took marital advice from my mother. I never took financial advice from my mother. But you know what advice I took from my mother, Nick, Nicole, Cody, and all you beautiful people in this youth group? My mother was a strong believer in God. My mother was a strong believer in a strong work ethic. And my mother was a strong believer in accountability. So I learned to endeavor and actually incorporate those principles in my life. So that's the first thing. So Nick, why don't we do this the town hall style, the way it should be done? So I want you, Nick, to ask me questions about leadership. And when we give these answers, youth group people, I want you to write them down. And I'm sure that we're going to provide this replay to you because, again, if I had the opportunity to sit in the seat that you're sitting in right now, I would be worth 1,000 times more than I'm worth right now. I would have eliminated 1,000 of the challenges that were in front of me because I didn't have mentorship. I didn't have access to information. You're living in a digital world today, and there's no excuse for you to succeed in life. I don't care if you were like me in a 1-bedroom, roach, rat-infested apartment for about 24 months of my life, or if you were given a silver spoon, you can still have success, significance, and legacy. And that's the reason why I'm investing my time to talk to you today. So Nick, that's my backstory. And guess what? I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count, why I can sit here and give this information and sleep well tonight, regardless if you take it or not, because I have helped over the last 20 years, over 20,000 people become consumer debt free and financially independent through the system I created called the 7 Spheres of Money, which includes Nick too. So Nick, let's tee it up, baby. And again, welcome everybody, and let's enjoy this show.
Okay, great. Let's get to it. Hey, and these lessons that you're getting today, these are lessons that you always wish that you got in school that you didn't get. You know, generation after generation has said the same thing, and I'm sure many of you were thinking the same. So as DJ mentioned, we're going to start with leadership. And I know we're here to learn about money, but DJ wanted to start with leadership. So before we get into the qualities of a good leader, DJ, why don't you tell us why start with leadership before we even get the money?
Absolutely. You know, Nick, that's a great question. You know, because everything rises and falls on leadership or the lack of leadership. And I'll give you a primary example. What's going on in our world right now today, specifically in America? We have a divided country because the person that's sitting in the presidential office of this corporation called the United States of America. That's right. You heard me say it. United States is a corporation. It's not a country. Look it up. Okay. That person amongst the races. So that's a lack of leadership. Just because he was elected into that position doesn't make him a leader. So you have to have leadership first and foremost, because everything rises and falls on leadership or the lack of leadership, Nick.
Okay. And as I'm going along, you know, feel free to drop those questions in the Q&A. And when you drop those questions in, I will send them over to DJ. So my next question is, what are the qualities of a good leader?
Absolutely. So I'm going to correct you. What are the qualities of a great leader? Okay. So here's the first book I want everybody to read. This book is by the premier leader in the world. His name is John C. Maxwell. John C. Maxwell. He wrote a book 20 years ago called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And guess what? I became a student of John C. Maxwell. I involved myself in his curriculum on a weekly basis, monthly, and on a conference basis, and I went to his conferences across the world. So one of the qualities of a great leader is discipline. My father and my grandfather told me, you either discipline yourself or you get disciplined by somebody. And if you're being disciplined by somebody, guess what, Nick? Especially if you look like you and you look like me, it's going to be a negative outcome. So first thing you need to do is apply discipline in your life. That's what's called an immutable principle of success. That's number one. Number two, accountability. Do what you say, be who you are. Okay? That's important because right now we live in a world that's based on celebrity, fame, personality, and lack of principles. So discipline, accountability. The third one that you want to have to be a great leader is responsibility. That means take ownership of all your actions, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. Okay? The fourth thing and the most important is be a servant leader. Nick, you're a servant leader. Nicole, you're a servant leader. Cody, you're a servant leader. Because again, without your participation and without you putting this platform on, these 600, 700, 800, 900 youth participants would not have access to this information that can transform their lives. How many people are excited about the leadership you have right now? Put a one in the chat box. Matter of fact, give me some clap hands for how grateful you are for these leaders that putting this event on today for you. Clap it up. Let me see some clap it up. We're going to have some fun here, okay? That's what I'm talking about. I'm loving it, Nick. I'm excited. I'm fired up. You know what happens when DJ the Money Coach get fired up? We light up the room. So the fifth thing is you have to attract to whom you are. There's a law called the law of attraction. If you're a loser, you're going to attract losers. If you're a winner, you're going to attract winners. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Nicole, Cody, Nick, I'm not going to be politically correct because I'm free. That's another thing. When you're free in America and free in the world, you can do what you want, say what you want, but be responsible about it. So I'm just going to bring the facts to these people. If everybody want me to bring you the facts, put a one in the chat box. Oh, I love it. I love it. How many people excited about talking with DJ the Money Coach right now? Put a one in the chat box, baby. Fire it up, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So another law of leadership is the law of personal momentum versus group momentum. What does that mean, Cody? That means once I get out of my comfort zone, start working on myself, start reading, start mentoring, start being mentored by people, I create a momentum that gets things moving faster and better for you. And then when I do that, I bring other people into my hemisphere and I teach them the same thing. So then it sets a fire like videos go viral. That's an important law of leadership, the law of personal momentum versus group momentum. And that's the law that you want to abide by because that would change your life 1,000-fold. So those are some of the laws about leadership. So I don't want to go into the rest of them because we want to hit everything and knock this out the park for my youth people. I'm so excited for these people in the youth group. Come, keep on coming with it. Bring it to me, Nick.
Hey, DJ, can you give them the title of that book one more time? Some of them missed it.
Absolutely. That book is called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I've had the pleasure of meeting him. I'm going to recommend a couple of books to you today, and each person I have personally worked with. That's why I'm financially independent and free in America. And that's why 3 years from today, if you adhere to anything I share with you, you'll be free too. No excuses. What you got next for me, Nick? Because we're going to take the top off of this bad boy.
Okay, so I'll throw one more question out there about leadership before we move on to the next topic. So when we think of the word leader, we think about people in positions. Like you gave the example of the president. But do you have to be in a official position in order to be a leader? How does that work?
Absolutely not. You know what? If you turn around, Nick, and nobody's following you, you're not a leader. So there's many of people in positions that people only follow them out of fear and out of the fact that they got to get a paycheck. But a real leader is a person like Cody and a person like Nicole that have put this platform together for the benefit of 900 youth people that are age 14 to 24. So those are leaders by servanthood capacity. So in order to be a real leader, the first person you got to lead, Nick, is yourself. And when you lead yourself, you show accountability, discipline, responsibility, and then you practice what you do on a daily basis and just follow the blueprint for success. And then you get yourself 3 people to mentor you, okay? This is the epitome of successful leadership inside yourself. Number 1, get somebody that is a leader, that has the fruit on the tree that people follow, that is integrity based. I have an acronym. I want everybody to write this down right now. It's called HIM. Now, don't take this wrong, ladies, but the H stands for hero, okay? Or the H stands for humility. The I stands for integrity. And the M stands for man, meaning you are a man or woman of your word. Thus, him becomes the most important person to know thyself. How many people want to get down with the HIM program? Put a 1 in the chat box if you want to be down with the HIM program. And like one of my favorite groups, Run DMC, they got a song called Are You Down with the King? So be a king in yourself, the G-O-D, like myself, and a queen too. So Nick, keep it coming, baby.
All right. So just to clarify, the book that DJ mentioned, this isn't a book that's mandatory for your program per se. This is just a reading suggestion that DJ is giving you. So even though it's not mandatory, you do want to read that because we want to be leaders.
Hold up.
Okay.
If you want me to give you these nuggets, this book is mandatory. How many people want to be free, consumer debt free, and own themselves in the United States of America Corporation? Put a 1 in the chat box. Because if you do want this book is mandatory, Nick.
Okay.
Let's get going, baby. Come on.
Okay, so I hope that clarifies the questions about the book. Now, I'm going over to the Q&A, and we have a couple of questions.
Sure thing.
So Kayla wants to know, what if you are a leader and you lose motivation? What do you do?
Okay, you know what? That happens, Kayla, and that's a great question because nobody's on 24/7. Even DJ, the money coach, gets down at times. So when you are not on, Kayla, that's when it's most important for you to have a mentor and an apprenticeship. That's when you got to pick up that phone, Kayla, and say, Nicole, I'm having a down moment and I'm human. Can you tell me why should I keep serving people who don't want me to serve them even though I'm serving them? That's the first thing you do. Number 2, Kayla, you get into them books and you apply them principles of success. And number 3, you look for the blessing in your downtime to actually elevate you, because God will never give you nothing that you can't handle. So when you're down, it's not permanent down. It's just a reflection and an adjustment in your program to get remotivated to have a core game plan. Does that make sense, Kayla? Does that answer your question? If that answers your question, put a 1 or put me a fire in the chat box, Kayla. Give me the next question, Nick. Let's get this party started, baby.
All right. My apologies if I mispronounced your name. I think this is Matthias. All right, Matthias wants to know if you can go in more depth about personal momentum versus group momentum.
Great, Matthias, and if I hacked up your name, I apologize. And if I did, I'll give you a free book called The Cost of Ignorance on Me. So personal momentum works this way. You got to have 3 things. Write this down, Matthias. First, you got to have a dream. Then you got to have a goal. Then you got to have a plan. And then when you work that plan and you have that goal, you set mileposts for success. So as you start doing those things, Matthias, you will start creating momentum. You will start getting better. Matthias, have you ever had a class or a subject that you didn't fully understand at the beginning of the season, of the school year, and then you start reading, you start working, then all of a sudden, 6 weeks in, all of a sudden you do everything. It just all of a sudden crystallizes in your mind right before that final. That's what personal momentum is. You cannot quantify it on the daily, but you can see it long term of the benefits and the growth that you have. And once you start having that growth, it will start to magnify your internal spirit, and people will be attracted to you, Matthias. And then you'll start creating group momentum. Just like Nick got on my team, he saw the fire that DJ the Money Coach has had for 20 years. And that created a fire in Nick. And then Nick created a fire in Ashley. And Ashley created a fire in Renee. These are people who are part of the 7 Spheres of Money team that's brought to you by DJ the Money Coach. If that was the answer that you wanted to hear, put a fire in the chat box. Tee me up with some more so we can get on to the next topic.
Okay. So I'm seeing a couple questions about money, so we can actually transition into that topic. So one of the first questions that I saw was something that you mentioned a few times in your backstory, in your introduction. You mentioned becoming consumer debt free, and the question is, what is that? What is consumer debt?
Oh, awesome. So consumer debt, which you guys who are 14 through 17, you're not going to really understand what that is. That's basically you having a credit card, you buying stuff. How many of you guys have gym shoes, bags, shirts, hoodies? Put a 1 in the chat box. And most importantly, if you have some name brand stuff like Nike and all that stuff, put a 1 in the chat box. So what consumer debt does for you is that when you can't afford it with cash, you go out and borrow money from somebody or some institution, and they charge you interest. So in this book that I read called BK1, it says the borrower is the slave to the loaner. That's what consumer debt is. So what's going to happen is that you as a young person, you're going to be given free credit cards to put your name on to borrow money, and it's going to get you entrapped in debt. But guess what? That's not going to happen because now you with DJ the Money Coach, and I'm going to teach you how to do credit the right way. And I'm going to teach you not to be a borrower and that only buy what you can afford or you can pay off in 30 days or less cash, because cash is king. And like Wu-Tang said, Cream, cash rules everything around me. Money, money, baby. Can you hear me? Is that exciting or what? Woo! I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's roll, man.
I think your energy is contagious. Yeah.
Give me some fire, baby. Jump on. I'm here. What's next?
So
let's keep rolling.
Yeah. So how many of you in here have your first job now, or you're starting to work? You know, you're getting your job. You're starting to get paid. How many of you in here are starting to get your jobs? Drop a 1 or drop a yes in there.
Tell you what, Nick, we're about to give them the 5 rules of money. Everybody, take your pen and paper out. I'm about to give them the 5 rules of money. Okay.
All right. So let's bring that in. So for the 5 rules of money. So if you have your job, you're starting to get paid, you're getting those paychecks. You probably want to know, what should you do with your money in order to become wealthy? So DJ, tell them about the 5 rules of money.
Man, I thought you would never ask. So number 1, everybody, write this down. Pay yourself first, not second, never third. I'm going to say that again. Pay yourself first, not second, never third. Why are you working? To take care of yourself, to take care of your family, not to pay consumer debt. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to create 4 envelopes. Take 4 physical envelopes. The first one, you're going to label it investing. Nick, put this in the chat box. Number 2, the second envelope, you're going to put on it savings. Number 3, the third envelope, you're going to put on charity. And number 4, you're going to put spend what's left. Now, every dollar that you earn, I don't care how much debt you got right now, you're going to take 50% of that dollar and you're going to invest it. Second thing, you're going to take 30% of that dollar and you're going to save it. Third thing, you're going to take 10% of that dollar and you're going to give it to somebody less fortunate or a charity that you believe in, that you want to give your talent, your time, and your treasure. And then the last envelope, well, what you have left, you're going to spend. And then when you spend that money, my fellow young women and men who are going to be new leaders and financially independent in 36 months or less, you're going to buy things like a expensive mindset. So you're going to want Gucci, you're going to want Kors, you're going to want Fendi, but you're going to buy it at a Walmart price. I'm going to say it again. I want Nordstrom's quality at Walmart prices. I don't want Walmart cheap stuff at Walmart prices. So when I spend my money, I want the sky, but I only want to pay for it for a penny. Those are the 4 rules of saving, investing, charity, and pay yourself. Now, with the 5 rules of money, number 1, pay yourself first. Number 2, set up what's called an emergency fund. Because right now we're in a pandemic, and the people who got laid off, 40 million of them, and out of that 40 million, 80% look like you and me. They didn't save for a rainy day. So that's not an excuse, because times are gonna be hard eventually some point in your life. So you're gonna have an emergency fund. Number 3, you're gonna set up an investment account. You're gonna take some of that money in this youth program that they're paying you to be in this segment of Town Hall right now with DJ the Money Coach and Nick, and you're gonna take that money and you're gonna put it in your savings account, okay? Number 4, you're gonna open up yourself a custodial Roth IRA, a custodial Roth IRA. And if you don't know what that is, we'll put information in the chat and we'll teach you what a custodial Roth IRA is. Number 5, you're going to take that money and you're going to give to your family, okay? Those are the rules that will create financial independence for you in 36 months, 60 months, no matter what your age is right now today. And then the caveat I'm going to give them, Nick, how many of you guys want to be a multimillionaire? Put a fire 1 in the chat box right now. If you want to be a multimillionaire, that's what I'm talking about. So let me tell you what's called the rule of 72. So the rule of 72 is discovered by Albert Einstein. Take the number 72, how much interest that you are earning from your checking account, your investment account, and you divide that into the number 72. So guys and girls, Nicole, Cody, if I have 3% being paid to me in my checking account, divide that into 72, my money will double every 24 months. Now, conversely, if you have a credit card, Imani Holland, and it has an 18% interest rate, that money will double against you in 4 years. So that means it will double against you and you will never be able to get out of debt. So the rule of 72, take the amount of money that's paying interest, divide it into 72, it'll tell you how quickly money will double for you. So if you make a 7% interest return, divide 7 and 72, your money will double every 10 years. How many people in the chat are 14 years of age? Let me see the ones for the 14-year-olds. Let me see the ones from the 15-year-olds. Let me see the ones from the 16-year-olds. Let me see the ones from the 17-year-olds. Let me see the ones from the 18-year-olds, the 19-year-olds, the 20-year-olds, the 21, the 22, the 23, the 24. How y'all fired up? If all of you guys are fired up, give me some fire and say, DJ the Money Coach, I want a pom-pom lifestyle, baby. Woo! So check this out. If you take $21 right now out of your $600 that you're going to earn this summer and you put it away every month for 40 years, no matter what you do, you will be a millionaire in this corporation called the United States of America. How many people can get fired up about that? Holler if you hear me. Woo! Let's roll, Nick. I'm feeling it, baby.
All right, you're bringing so much heat that all the technology is trying to slow down. They don't want this message to get out.
Yeah, baby. Let's go. Who want to learn some more about money today? Put a 1 in the chat box. Give me some questions.
All right. Let's go over to the Q&A. See if we have any questions in here. Oh man, slowing down a little bit. It's too much heat. Too much heat.
All right, so let me tell them this while we're on the money. So I'm gonna tell them 3 passive incomes. Everybody write this down. 3 passive incomes you gotta start learning about and start applying right now in your lives. I have 4 children. My children are 7, 11, 13, and 16. And all 4 of my children do exactly what I'm about to share with you. Number 1, own a business. It's okay to go work for somebody to learn a trade, but at the end of the day, in this corporation called the United States of America, you got to have ownership and equity in everything you do. So number one, own a business that creates passive income. And in a digital world, you can do YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Create a product or service, make it digital, get paid one time for the rest of your life. That's number one. Number two, when you get old enough, get yourself some investments in real estate. Number three, most importantly for you right now, get yourself some dividend stocks. So if you are familiar with Robinhood, Stash, Acorn apps, you can start applying at 18 and buying yourself dividend stocks. These are the three most powerful incomes on the planet. Passive income. Passive income, if you don't understand that, 14, 15, 16-year-old, that means that I built something once, and I'll give you an example. How many of you guys live in an apartment? Put a one in the chat box like I used to. If you live in an apartment, put a one in the chat box. So when you live in that apartment and your mom or your dad or you pay the rent to the landlord, that's called passive income, because that landlord bought the property, fixed it up, or slumlord didn't put anything in it and rented it out to you. Every month you got to pay to live there. That's passive income. Number two, I own a business called DJ the Money Coach, Duransburg International. Right now, people are buying services off my website for digital books, consultations, webinars that are automatic, that I do them one time, send them out into the market, and they make money for me 24/7, 365. How can you not be excited about that? Woo! Let me holler if you hear me, baby. So that's three passive incomes, okay? And then you want to become an entrepreneur. Nick, give me some questions, man. What I see a lot of ones. Oh, somebody said this man is a hype man. You right. I'm a hype man. Guess what? Because I'm free. So when you get free like me, you can be a hype man too. Because remember, I got a 6-figure income passively. I have a 7-figure net worth, and I don't have to answer to nobody. So you right. I am a hype man. Hype for financial independence, freedom. I don't beg for crumbs. I take what's mine in America. And you should too. How many people get excited about that? Woo! Let's talk, baby. Keep it rolling. I love it.
Yeah, while we go into digital marketing, because you just mentioned, those popular apps that I know many of our audience uses, like Instagram, TikTok, and things of that nature. So digital marketing is a career that's highly in demand right now, and it pays really well. And it's actually a career that you can start right now, while you're still a student. So DJ, why don't you tell them about digital marketing? What is digital marketing?
Absolutely. So we live in a digital world. So currency now is information digitally based. So what digital marketing means is, number one, you can do what's called SEO, search engine optimization, where you can create a word that somebody Googles and brings your company, your school, your enterprise up to the top of the Google list, and people will buy products and services from you. So you can learn how to code to do SEO. You can do what's called pay-per-clicks. How many people here are on YouTube on a regular basis and you see what's called a thumbnail? That's digital marketing. If you see that, put a one in the chat box. How many people know about Google Analytics? If you know about these things, right now at 14, you can get Google Analytics certified in 6 weeks or less, and people on Upwork, Fiverr, all these different platforms will pay you $15 to $60 an hour as a 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count, how I can guarantee you that. Nick, you want to tell them how, or do I need to give them the answer?
Hey, you know what, Nick? I know the answer.
Let me give them the answer.
All right,
guess what? My 13-year-old son is certified. He has a YouTube channel, and my 13-year-old son makes $1,000 a month doing YouTube thumbnails, editing videos, and he just started in January. $1,000 a month. How many of you right now would like to make $1,000 a month working 20 hours a week in addition to this youth program, and do that for the rest of your life to build on? My 16-year-old son has Google Analytics certification, SEO certification, and in 4 weeks, he got all these certifications because we went online and got him a transformational skill that he can make $50 an hour at 16 years of age. Now, I ain't gonna expose anybody, but how many of these administrators in college, in high school, that are making $50 an hour, or i.e. $100,000 a year in their first year working on the job, in their third year working on the job? How many of those are there, Nick? Let's be honest. Do you make six figures yet, Nick?
No, not yet.
Not yet, but you will next year, won't you?
I will, that's right.
In a nutshell, my fellow youth movement program participants who had to come here to get that check, look up digital marketing. If you don't know where to go to get it done, all you got to do is get in contact with us, and we'll help you get the platform, and we'll subsidize you to help you get those skills. That's my give back to you. That's how important digital marketing skills are. All jokes aside, within 3 years of you applying digital marketing and getting certifications, you'll make $100,000 in America without having a college degree. And let me tell you why. Google now hires people without college degrees. Google, YouTube, Yahoo, Facebook are now hiring kids with skills, not degrees. And all they do is give you an aptitude test. And if you can code, you can do SEO, you can do Google Analytics, they will pay you because it is in high demand. High demand. So if you don't get anything out of this talk in this town hall today, digital marketing, you need to be on it. You need to be a coder, okay? You need to get into cyber, security. These are the prevalent skills you got to have in a digital world today. That's digital marketing in a nutshell. So my 16-year-old makes over $1,000 a month. My 13-year-old makes $1,000 a month. And if they can do it, you can do it, and I can teach you. And dividend stocks, I can teach you at 7 years of age how to create digital stocks by putting $20 a month and creating a portfolio that'll make you a millionaire in 40 years or less. How many people get excited about that?
All right. So we're moving into the last 15 minutes. So is there any other information about digital marketing before we go back to these questions? Because we have quite a few questions here in the Q&A.
Cool. Let's go in the Q&A because we're gonna end on time, baby. Time is money, money is time.
All right. So actually here's one question that kind of goes off of the digital marketing.
Wait, hold up. I heard somebody say, what's the website? Nick, give them the website. And they can get in touch and we'll give them information on digital marketing and digital stocks. Somebody just said, give me the digital information.
Okay, I dropped that in there.
Drop that in there, Nick. All right, what's the question? Fire, brother.
Or I'll say I'll drop that in there if I'm able to. Like I said, the chat's been moving a little slow, but I'm reading your questions here in the Q&A, and I'll try to get to as many as possible. But if I don't get to it, it's nothing personal. It's just the time and everything moving slow. So
tell everybody, clap it up if they're excited about DJ the Money Coach bringing that fire to them. Clap it up.
All right. So the question that we have about digital marketing is how do you get certified in Google Analytics, and where do you learn how to code?
Awesome. Well, codeacademy.org is where you learn how to code for free. Codeacademy.org. Digital marketing. We do a digital program that enables you to actually get your certifications in 6 weeks. You can actually go to djthemoneycoach.com. And let me tell you this is not me self-promoting. We actually do a joint venture partnership with the #1 digital marketing provider on the internet that actually helps people that look like you and I make money in 6 weeks. What's the next question, Nick?
All right, so for the questions about DJ Sun's YouTube channel, that would be a Fluid Technique on YouTube. So if you want to see his work, examples of his thumbnails and his video editing, that's Fluid Technique. Okay.
Fluidtechnique.com. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? My 16-year-old has a full scholarship to University of Texas Engineering School because he was taught from the day he came out of the womb the stuff I'm talking to you about right now. If you want to be mentored by DJ the Money Coach, free, absolutely. I'm going to mentor the first 5 people who get together with us. But you're going to have accountability, discipline, and be able to stick through it. If you want to be mentored by somebody that can help you get free, I will mentor the first 5 people.
All right. So I'll go back over to these questions that I wrote down because it looks like my Q&A box is frozen. So some of the questions that I wrote down. Here's a good question. DJ, what's the first business you own, and did you manage it?
Oh, awesome question. My first official corporation was called White Glove Immaculate Services, which was a cleaning business. I started in 1996, and I owned and ran it up until 2006, and I had it at over $6 million. And I quit my job, sold my house, sold my car, moved back into a one-bedroom apartment, and didn't sell not one cleaning contract for 6 months. And in my 7th month, I sold 1 contract. My 8th month, I sold 3. And 18 months after that, I had 7-figure income because I'm a go-getter. Great question.
All right. And I have another great question, an advanced question here that even surprised me is what strategy do you use or should you use for buying houses? Rent to buy, LOA, or BRRR?
Okay, great. I love that. Who is that? Who is that question from? So first things first, if you are just getting started and you're going to be in it for the long term, you're going to do the BRRRR system, which is buy, rehab, renovate, rinse, and repeat, because that creates residual income. If you're doing the line of assignment, I'm not a big fan for assigning stuff. That's like selling drugs. So when you do that, you get a lot of quick money, but you pay higher taxes, okay? Third thing is you're not really serving the community because all you're trying to do is get rich, get quick. I rarely seen somebody do assignments that get wealthy. They end up being in debt and more over their head like a lottery winner, okay? But the first strategy of buying real estate is, it works this way. So everybody write this down. I'm gonna look at 100 properties, be it on Zillow, on Google, whatever. I'm gonna find 10 that are in my price point that I wanna buy. I'm gonna put 3 offers together and I'm gonna buy 1. And I'm never gonna pay retail. I am in the wholesale acquisition business. Guess why? Because when you got credit and you got money, there's more people in destitute situations that wanna sell. The saying is, when blood's on the street, buy real estate. And if you wanna know more about how to do it right, I own multiple real estate properties. I've owned commercial properties. I've owned startup companies that lease commercial property from me. So if you like to learn how to do it, hit me up. I'll be more than happy to talk to you or mentor you too. Next question.
All right. Now let's go back to, we had a couple questions about spending early on. So DJ, how do you beat the urge to spend, and how do you avoid the temptation of unnecessary spending?
Well, you know what? That's a great question. So the reality is you don't until you establish the habit or until you've been taught the proper way. Remember, when I started out my introduction, I had $40,000 worth of consumable debt. So I was a lot like you. And this is what my mentor, George Fraser, says, Dr. George Fraser. He said, here's the funny thing. Rich people pretend to be poor and poor people pretend to be rich. What do I mean? They walk around with the Gucci bag. They walk around with the Fendi bag that costs $5,000 and they got a freaking dollar in it. But the wealthy person walks around with the beat up shoes and the beat up car, but they own millions of stuff. So how do I create the habit? First, my dream, my goal, my plan, and then what I want to be 5 years from now. And if you want to really be that person, you will not fall privy or victim to the peer pressure of trying to look wealthy versus being wealthy, okay? And when you get serious about it, what you're going to find out when you don't have any debt and your friends are walking around in Nikes and Pumas and all that. And don't get me wrong, I like expensive stuff, but I'm not going to buy expensive stuff and disengage myself from wealth. I'm going to own what I wear. I'm not going to be a free promotion for anybody either. So if I have Nike on, you better believe DJ the Money Coach own a ton of Nike stock. If I have FUBU on, you better believe I'm going to own a ton of FUBU stock. If I'm a big fan of Steph Curry and he has Under Armour, you better believe I'm going to own Under Armour. So everybody, right now, whatever you have on, I want you to write a list. Name me some name brands you got on your body right now that you're promoting for free and not getting paid for. But tomorrow, you're going to go find those stocks and you're going to buy some options in them at pennies on the dollar. And if you don't know how to do that, contact DJ the Money Coach and I'll have my 13-year-old Fluid Technique teach you how to do it. Better yet, I'll have my 7-year-old daughter teach you how to do it. How can you get excited about that? Tell me about it. Woo! I see some name brands popping off. Now, I want everybody, stop doing that. Stop. Now name the products that you own real estate investment stocks in. Now, put the names of those in there now. Yeah. You got stock in Gucci? No, you don't. Come on now. Exactly. Exactly. But guess what? After today, when you get that $600, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start a stock investment club for you. How would you guys like for DJ the Money Coach to create a stock investment club for the youth group? As long as it's okay with Nicole and Cody, I will help you guys, and Nick will be the manager to help you guys get on that road to financial independence. That's my give back to you as well. I cannot be more excited about you guys. I'm excited. Nick, we got 6 minutes, and we got to wrap this thing up, baby.
Yep. All right, so again, the website is djthemoneycoach.com. For those who are asking about the website, djthemoneycoach.com.
Nick.
Yep. And in my email, if you want to get in contact with me, to get in contact with DJ, you can write this down. My email is Nick, Nick, at djthemoneycoach.com. Nick at djthemoneycoach.com.
Guess what I'm going to do, Nick? I'm giving everybody in the youth group a free book called The Cost of Financial Ignorance, and I'm going to give them my free mini course as my give back to them too. As long as it's okay with Nicole and Cody, all they got to do is send us their information via our email at nick@djthemoneycoach.com. I'm giving you a free book. I'm giving you a free mini course because I want you to get ahead sooner than I did, because you deserve to own everything and be free in this corporation called the United States of America. And know what I want you all to have? Nick, I want you to have a pom-pom lifestyle. You know what that is? That's plenty of money and peace of mind. And I want you to come follow us on the beaches of the World Club. Better yet, join us. How many people want the pom-pom lifestyle? Put a P in the chat box, baby, if you want the pom-pom lifestyle. Woo! It's popping, baby.
Yeah, man. So as we're going into the last minute, the last few minutes, DJ, why don't you give us, three key takeaways? If these youth didn't get anything else from this town hall meeting, what are 3 things that you can leave them with? And then we'll get out of here.
Okay, so I'm gonna give them the 4 P's of success. Everybody write this down. The 4 P's of success. Number 1, professionalism. What does that mean? This town hall started at 4 p.m. Eastern time. That means be there at 3:45, 15 minutes before. Number 2, dress the part. That's part of professionalism. Number 3, speak the King's English. Okay? That's professionalism. That's the first P. The second P, persistence. That means keep moving forward toward your goal. No matter what the obstacles are, be persistent. Practice daily hitting your goals. It's about you moving forward. So professionalism, persistence is the second P. The third P is perseverance. That means when that obstacle, which is an opportunity in disguise, you persevere, overcome, go through it, over it, beneath it, around it, whatever it takes, but do it legally, ethically, and morally sound. And then when you get the opportunity to shine, like DJ the Money Coach is blowing up this town hall today, produce, baby, bring the performance of a lifetime. Yes, that's right. Be a superstar, because all of you are superstars. That's the 4 P's of success. Number 2, takeaway, get yourself a mentor, okay? And number 3, have a big dream, audacious dream, because impossible is possible if you have a dream, have a mentor, and practice the 4 P's. And I want to tell all of you, I love you from my heart, and I wish that I could start over like you are, but I hope you take some of these nuggets and apply them in your life. So if you never see me again, I wish you the best. I hope for the best. And most importantly, I want you to conquer everything that life puts in front of you. So write this down. I want everybody to say this right now. Veni, Vidi, Vici. That's V-E-N-I, V-I-D-I, V-I-C-I. That's Latin for I came, I saw, I conquered. That's it. And I want you to have a pom-pom lifestyle. Plenty of money, peace of mind, and come join me on the beaches of the World Club. Nick, Thank you. Nicole, thank you. Cody, thank you. Hey, I got to drop the mic, baby, but I'm giving everybody free cost of financial ignorance and a free mini course. Give them the information. All you got to do is email nick@djthemoneycoach.com. I love you guys. I hope to see you when the pandemic is up, but I'm out of here. Peace.
Thank you. Thank you so much, DJ, the Money Coach. Thank you, Mr. Westbrooks. This was awesome. I don't know if you're fired up like me. I got 3 pages of notes about how to get my money right, how to dream, how to set a goal, how to plan, what is leadership, how to be held accountable, how to persist, how to have professionalism, how to produce, how to have perseverance. Listen, I am filled today. Thank you so much, DJ the Money Coach. Thank you all for all of you who have joined in today in the conversation. I hope you are taking away some amazing, amazing gems that you can apply, whether it's digital marketing, whether it's investing, whether it's owning a business. I hope you have some gems that you are going to take forth with you. Join me clapping it up for DJ the Money Coach, for Mr. Westbrooks, thanking them for imparting their great wisdom on you. We're going to take him up on his word. I'm going to send everyone who is on this call, all 441 of you, I'm going to send your name to him so that we can get that free book, The Cost of Financial Ignorance. We want to see what this book is about. I'm guessing it's a digital book, correct?
Yes, it is.
Excellent. So we will make sure to get that to everyone via email. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here today. And to all of our attendees in Newark Youth One Stop, thanks you for being here. Until Friday, we're back on Friday with another town hall where we will talk about summer time and what are the opportunities available to you in the summertime, because the COVID don't stop a thing, right? So we got to figure out what can you do this summer. Join me again in thanking Mr. Westbrook. Thanking DJ the Money Coach. Clapping it up for them. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your day, and we'll see you this week. Take care.